installation of the Yukon Spin Free Kit for Dodge 1-ton single rear wheel design. The dual rear wheel design varies slightly. Please consult your installation manual for the dual wheel design. Before starting, read the provided instructions thoroughly and make sure all components are present in the kit. With the vehicle secured on a lift or with the front supported on jack stands, remove the wheels. Remove the brake calipers and hang them from the vehicle with wire or cable. Do not allow the calipers to hang from the brake hoses because the weight of the calipers may damage the brake lines. It is not necessary to disconnect the brake lines. Remove the factory brake rotor. Next, remove the ABS sensor from the top of the unit bearing. Pull the sensor straight out of the bearing, taking care not to damage it. Remove the 4 factory bolts that retain the unit bearing to the steering knuckle. Remove the unit bearing assembly. This may take some force depending on the amount of rust, salt, or corrosion present. The axle shafts will be removed with the unit bearing. Take care not to damage the inner axle seals during removal. Remove the U-joint and inner axle from the outer axle. Check the U-joint for excessive play or wear and replace if necessary. If you are reusing the U-joint, you do not need to remove it from the inner axle. For the purposes of this video, we are replacing the U-joint. Clean the steering knuckle prior to installing the spindle. You may need to use a die grinder with a flapping wheel depending on the amount of rust or corrosion present. Apply anti-seize to the knuckle surface where the new spindle will be installed. It is always a good idea to apply a thin amount of grease to prevent corrosion in the future. Install the spindle bearing and seal using white lithium grease on the seal. Attach the ABS sensor to the new spindle and install the axle assembly into the housing. Be careful not to damage the inner axle seal during installation. Install the spindle and factory dust shield. The dust shield may need to be clearanced in order to clear the ABS sensor. Tighten the supplied hardware to 135 foot-pounds. Install the ABS sensor. Install the wheel bearing races into the new wheel hubs provided in the kit. Be sure to seat the races fully into the hub. A little oil on the outside of the race will make installation much easier. Press the new studs into the hub. Liberally grease the inner bearing with high-temperature wheel grease and install. Next, install the hub seal and coat the entire lip with lithium grease. Install the hub and outer wheel bearing. Be sure to pack the outer bearing in the same manner as the inner bearing. Install the inner lock nut with the pin facing outward. Tighten to 50 foot-pounds using a Spenner lock nut wrench. Rotate the hub to fully seat the bearings. Back the lock nut off 90 degrees and retighten to 15 to 20 foot-pounds. Install the lock washer. The key should be positioned into the groove of the wheel spindle. Align the pin of the inner lock nut with the nearest lock nut washer hole. Check the assembly for end play. Acceptable tolerances are 0 to 0.02 of an inch. The torque required to rotate the hub assembly should not exceed 20 inch-pounds. Reinstall the brake rotor and caliper. Once installed, double-check all nuts and bolts. Recheck them again after 50 to 500 miles. Check the wheel bearings after 500 miles and adjust as necessary. Install the premium lockout hubs per the steps indicated with their provided instructions. With the premium lockout hubs installed, reinstall the wheel and tighten down the lug nuts.